उद्घाट्य योगकलया हृदयाब्जकोशं धन्यैश्चिरादपि यथारुचि गृह्यमाणः यः प्रस्फुरत्यभिगतं परिपूर्णरूपः श्रेयस्समे दिशतु शाश्वतिकं कुन्दः अमरीकमरीभारभ्रमरी मुखरीकृतं दूरीकरोतु दुरितं गौरी चरणपङ्कजं परस्परतपःसम्पत्फलायित परस्परौ प्रपञ्चमातापितरौ प्राञ्चौ जायापति स्तुमः we finished Rupakam. We just need to look at the last Aparam Udaharanam, right? So there are mainly two types, Abheda Rupakam and Tadrupya Rupakam. In Abheda Rupakam, we looked at Anubhaya, Nyunam and Adhikam. The Anubhayam, Nyunam and Adhikam is with respect to the Vishaya, whatever we are prescribing, whether it is of the same quality as the Vishayi or the Upamanam, or is it Nyunam or Adhikam. For Tadrupyam also, we saw that, yes, I think we finished this. Yeah, I'll get the book. I think we have to do just the Pratipamala.
Kim Asubhi Gali.
Yeah, but no.
Naishadam Udaharanam.
Naishadam. Yes, that's what we need to do. Correct. The last one. अधिक ताद्रूप्य रूपकस्य उदाहरणम् अयं कलङ्किनश्चन्द्रात् मुखचन्द्रो अतिरिच्यते अयं मुखचन्द्रः कलङ्किनः चन्द्रात् अतिरिच्यते. So this the face of this lady seems to be better than the moon because the moon has a kalankam. So ayam purovarti mukhameva chandraha mukhachandraha kalankinah kalankasahitat chandrat prasiddha indoho atirichyate. So it is superior or it excels the famous Chandra. Atrapi mukhe chandratvaropaha. Increase it a little bit. You know, the other book had a lot of writings in the middle, so I took some scans of my own. Atrapi mukhe chandratva aropaha dharmamatra aropa paryavasayi bhedasya pratiyamanatvat kalanka rahitatvat mukhachandrasya utkarsha pratipadanat adhika tadrupya rupakam. 2-3 things that we need to first consider. One is mukhe chandratva aropaha. So there is a superimposition of the moon onto the mukham. So mukha chandraha, mukhameva chandraha. The first step is aropaha. It is only aropa there, dharmamatra aropa paryavasayi. So there is a Veda that we see because the mention of both vastu are there. That is, mukham is also mentioned, chandraha is also mentioned. But he adds an extra visheshanam there by saying that it is a kalanki. So kalanka rahitatvat mukhachandrasya utkarshaha. Because there is no blemish on the face, we say that the face, the moon which is now the face here, is actually better than the original moon. So adhika tadrupyam.
So dharma matra aropanama kaha dharmaha aropyate?
That is chandratvam, you can say, or chandre, any dharma that we want to talk about, sarupyatvena tatra kantihi atava, any dharma that is left to the mind of the reader. In Rupakam. It's not necessary to, actually it is, they don't need to mention, should not mention a samana dharma.
Okay. Parivasanam nama?
Paryavasayi ending nartham. It only ends in the superimposition of just the common dharma.
Okay.
Whatever kanti is there in the original Chandra, that is present in this mukham also. So I don't need to go to that original Chandra because there seems to be a fault in that Chandra. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So this one, Kim Asubhihi, Kim Asubhihi glapitaihi jada manyase mai nimajjatu bhimasuta manaha मम किल श्रुतिम् आह तदर्थिकां नल मुखेन्दु परां विबुधः स्मरः किम् असुभिः ग्लपितैः हे जड मन्यसे मयि निमज्जतु भीमसुता मनः सो भीमसुतायाः मनः मयि निमज्जतु इति असुभिः ग्लपितैः भीमसुता मनः मयि मज्जतु. So this is an address to the moon. This comes in the 4th sarga of Naishadham, wherein this is fully in the Viraha lament. So the Damayanti looks at each object and say, she goes to that Unmatta stage actually here. So she looks at the moon and says, hey Jada, Jala ityapi, you take the meaning there as Jalam also. So hey Jada, Mai Bhimasuta Manaha Nimajjatu iti yadi ichchasi, yadi manyase. So after Maranam, each of those elements are supposed to go back to wherever it was produced from. So, for example, if this body is produced from different panchabhutas, and at the same time, if you look at Shruti Vakyam also, Chandrama Manaso Jataha, the moon came from the mind of the Purusha. There is also another Shruti Vakyam. That's what I was also looking for. Chandre liyate manaha iti kimapi vartate. And because of that Shruti Vakyam also, this mind goes and completely merges with the moon. That is what is there in the Shruti Vakyam. Okay, he doesn't state Mritanam manas chandramasam pravishati iti amnaya vachanasya. If you look at Rasikaranjani's Vyakhyana, there is one line where he says, the Shruti Vakyam is Mritanam, those who die, their manas goes and enters into Chandra. So Chandramasam pravishati. Bhimasuta api virahatapena yadi maranam gacchati. So if she also dies, then her mind will go into Chandra, it will go into the moon. Iti yadi manyase. So she is addressing the moon and saying, Asubihi glapitaihi, when the life is completely gone. Glapitaihi asubihi, when the life has gone, pranasya glapanam. Glapanam is actually completely comes out of the body, right? Glapitam is usually chutam. Here you take it as sharirat tatra chutam. So asubihi glapitaihi, when this thing is completely gone, then Bhimasuta manaha mai nimajjatu iti manyase chet mama kila shrutim aha tadarthikam nalamukhendu param vibudaha smaraha. But this Smara, Manmatha, who is a great expert, he has actually said that he has given this shastram that the mind has to go into the Chandra, but it will not go into the Prasiddha Chandram, but it will go into Nala Mukhendu Param, Tadarthikam Shrutim Aha. See, this Manmatha has given me a different interpretation for that Shruti Vakyam, which says Manaha Chandramasam Pravishati iti. Kintu tatra kidrisha chandre pravishati iti na uktam. But Manmatha has given a different commentary. He says, Vibudaha smaraha, this clever Manmatha, tadarthikam shrutim mama evam ahakila. He has given me an instruction. Manmatha has given me an instruction that my mind should go into a different kind of moon, which is Nala Mukham Eva Induhu Atra. Tatparam Eva Tadarthikam Shrutim Aha. He told me the meaning of the Shruti as with reference to Nala Mukha Indu, but not the Prasiddha Chandra.
It's awesome. Mama vandu mahyam iti. Mama krute iti.
Mama upadeshaha kritaha iti. Mama aha.
Mama aha. Na mama aha iti. Okay. So, glai, I mean, glai, glane, and the glane, right? The same dhatu.
Amma. Adudha.
The same dhatu.
Same
Okay.
dhatu.
And
Glapayati.
okay. So, Jada is Jada is referring to the moon, right?
Moon only.
Moon only.
So
But,
he says Murkha, or he also says Shitala. Idi.
okay. Okay. So, the moon has the quality of water, I guess.
It has the quality, it has a very cooling effect, hence
Cooling
the
effect.
mind which is completely adunatu manmathena tapyate kalu. Tasmat, it has a tapam which can be extinguished by entering into the moon.
Moon.
Instead of the original moon, this tapam can be reduced only by Nalamukha Indu. Okay.
So now here the Rupakam is in Nalamukha Indu, but
Yes.
isn't it hidden in the it's overshadowed by the bigger alankara, right? There's a bigger alankara at work here, right? Like Kavya or something.
That can be there. That's okay.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. But we want to know this, that the Nalamukha Indu is better because it can absorb Damayanti Manaha, whereas the original Chandra cannot absorb Damayanti Mana. I think that's what he says in the here also. Atra Damayanti Krita Chandra Upalambhe. Upalambha nama Ninda. Prasiddha Chandraha na prana niryana kala manaf pravesharthaka shrutehe tatparya vishayaha. So he is not the tatparya vishayam. He is not the subject of tatparyam, which the Shruti says, wherein prayana kale manaha tatra pravishati iti ya shrutihi vartate tasyaha shrutyaha tatparya vishayastu ayam chandraha nasti kintu nalamukha chandraha eva. Kintu Nalamukha Chandra eva iti prasiddha chandrapekshaya Nalamukha Chandrasya adikya pratipadanat adhikatadrupya rupakam. Clear? Shobha, you have a doubt?
Here, how did that jala thing came? Because of the word jada?
Jada iti murkha ityeva. Usually, see, during...
How did you get jala? Jalamaya,
and
that one.
Da and la are taken as
interchangeable.
Interchangeable.
Okay.
Yeah. Like Agni Mile Purohitam Ityasti kalu, Rigvede. That is actually Ide Ityeva kalu. But the way they pronounce is Agni Mile Purohitam. In Veda pronunciation, they use that la instead of la. Murdhanya la they use. As a substitute for da. That's all. So that's why he interchanges that. In Kavyam, you will find this very, in Kavya Prakasham also, you will find such examples. They'll play with this. Okay. So we can go on to Parinama Alankara. I think all 6 are over now. Parinama is an extension. I look at it as an extension of Rupakam. You first have to do the superimposition, and so that the upamanam can be used for kriya. Parinamaha kriyartaschet vishayi vishayatmana prasannena drigabjena vikshate madirekshana. So the vishayi...
Even in Amari Kabari, the same thing, right?
Amari Kabari.
Parinama.
Bhramari Mukhari Kritam.
Charana Pankajam.
Duri Karotu.
There also
Charana Pankajam. Charana Pankajam. Yes. Pankajasya Duri Karanam Nasti Tasmat Charana Rupena Tatra Durita Duri Karanam Bhavati. Yes. Correct. So the Upamanam does not have the capability of performing an action. So it turns we transform the Upamanam, we look at the Upamanam in the form of the Upameya and then solve the action. So Parinamaha kriyarthaschet vishayi vishayatmana vishayi upamanam vishayatmana upameya atmana kriyarthaha chet. Then it can be karya upayogi. Prakrita karya upayogi. There is an action that has to be done, The Upamanam is not capable of doing that action, even though Utkrishta Vastu Ityeva Vadamaha. Parantu, it cannot do that action, it cannot perform that action. So it transforms itself into this Prakrita Vishayam, and it now that Karyam is possible. So Atrapi Rupakavat Aropaha Asti. Parantu Aropyamanaha Vishayi Vishayarupena Karyopayogi Bhavati iti Visheshaha. So the Aropyamanaha Vishayi Upamanam you superimpose upon the Upameya and it becomes useful for Karyam. So Rupake tu na tatha iti anayor bhedaha. So Rupakam just stops with superimposition, that's all. This Karya Upayogitvam, when this comes in, then the alankara is Parinama alankara. We've seen many in Yadavabhyudayam. The Karna Dharavati, adella அந்த மாதிரி தான் நினைக்கிறேன். There are a couple of slokas in இது.
Upameya will do karyam adu mariya, like
Upameya is possible to do. So example பார்த்தேன்னா Drigabjena Vikshate Madirekshanaன்னு இருக்கு. Prasannena Drigabjena Madirekshana Vikshate. Madirekshana, a person who has intoxicating eyes. So this is the Nayika. Madirekshana sa Prasannena Drigabjena Vikshate. She sees with the lotus eye, which is very clear. Prasannam. The abjam cannot do the vikshana kriya. The lotus cannot look. It is an achetana vastu. It is an upamanam, which is the vishayi, and that cannot be useful for seeing. So we transform it into the drik, the eye. So drigabjena vikshate. Drishaha vikshana kriya tu sadhya. Correct? So Rupaketu na tatha Vishaya Vishayinoho Swapada Nirdishtayoho Abheda Pratipattihi Aropaha. So Abheda Pratipattihi Aropaha. Abheda Pratipattihi in Puturkarthala. Because this then confuses us with the Abheda Rupakam and Tadrupya Rupakam. So Swapada Nirdishtayoho Abheda Aropaha Kriyate. That is, you just do a simple Aropa or a Rupakam there, first of all. So Vishaya is your Upameya, Vishayi is the Upamanam. These two are mentioned by their words. If one is not mentioned and says Anena Abjena Vikshate iti yadi vayam vadamaha, then there is no Parinamam there. Okay, so you need both of those words to be mentioned. Then Madirekshana, Sundaralochana, Tanvi. Madira is actually intoxicating eyes, not beautiful eyes. So Madira, Madire Ikshane, one whose eyes are like Madira. Tanvi, Prasannena, Nirmalena, Drikkeva Abjam, Drigabjam, Tena, Vikshate, Pashyati, iti Udaharanam. Atra, Drishi, Lochane, Abjatvam Aropitam. We are superimposing Abjatvam, the quality of being a lotus, onto the eye. It's as beautiful as a lotus. Tasyacha Prakrita Vikshana Kriya Anvayaha. When we say Drigabjam, Pundarikakshaha, it just stops with that. That's all. But if you are saying that he is seeing with this lotus eye, then there is a Kriya that needs to be satisfied. The kriya that needs to be performed. So Prakrita Vikshana Kriya Anvayaha Swarupataha na sambhavati. It is not possible for the abjam to do Vikshana Kriya. A lotus cannot see. So Prakrita Vikshana Kriya Anvayaha Swarupataha na sambhavati ityukte abjasya. Tasya cha is abjasya. Swarupataha na sambhavati. Abjasya swarupataha vikshana kriya na sambhavati, or vikshana kriya anvayaha na sambhavati. Iti upameya drigatmana parinamat. It gets transformed into the form of drik, or the eye of the Nayika. So kriya upayogitvat. Now it is easy for us to make it do the action of vikshanam. Hence this is called parinama, transformation.
Modaya, in the Purvam, the Rupaka Alankara, we also have the Paramparita Rupakam.
Idhula
Where
kadayadhu. Don't bring
in
it
this
here.
book it is not there.
Ama.
But if it is only related Rupakam one by one in sequentially they are related, then we do the Paramparita Rupakam, right? If they are not related, can we make it like how we do the Malopama, like that? Can we do a Mala Rupakam?
Mala Rupakam irkan enakku theriyala. Possible. There could be. There is Kevala Rupakam and Mala Rupakam. Yes. Panla.
Mala Rupakam is if they are unrelated, and if they are related, it is Paramparita Rupakam.
Yes. If it is interconnected, it is Paramparita. Yes.
Okay.
Any doubts so far? Okay. Sorry. There is an Aparam Udaharanam here. This is from Anargha Ragavam. Parinamasya Aparam Udaharanam. Tirtva Bhutesha Maulis Raja Mamara Dhunim Atmanasau Tritiyaha Tasmai Saumitri Maitri Mayam Upakritavan Ataram Navikaya Vyamagrahya Stanibihi Shabara Yuvatibihi Kautukodancha Daksham Krichrat Anviyamanaha Kshanam Achalam Athaha Kshanam Achalam Atho Chitrakutam Pratasthe. So this is from the 5th act of Anargha Raghava. It is an Atakam, 7-act play written by Murari. This comes in the 5th, I think the 2nd shloka is this. Tirtva Bhutesha Maulim. So Chitrakutam Pratasthe. Where is our Rama? Asau Ramaha Achalam Kshanam no. Chitrakutam Pratasthe, he started to Chitrakuta. So after Guha crossed the Ganga, Guha helped him cross Ganga, he started towards Chitrakuta. He wanted to stay there, right? So Tirtva Bhutesha Maulisrajam Amaradhunim Atmana Asau Tritiyaha. So Asau Atmana Saha Tritiyaha. Along with himself, he was the 3rd person. So Tritiyaha Asau Ramaha. Along with Rama, Lakshmana and Sita, he was the 3rd person. So Atmana, along with himself, being the 3rd person in that group, they all of them, he crossed with the other two. Artham. அது எப்படி சொல்றார், தன்னையும் சேர்த்து மூணாவதா இருக்கக்கூடிய ராமன் கங்கையை தாண்டினான்னு வருது. இது எங்க இருந்து இங்கிலீஷ்ல வந்து இட்ஸ் a little tough to understand, but it's okay. I mean, asau tritiyaha, so he was the 3rd person, which means 2 others were there before him. சரியா? Yeah. So Bhutesha Maulisrajam Amaradhunim Tirtva, having crossed Amaradhuni Ganga, which is like a mala, srak, on the head of Bhutesha Parameshwara. So Bhutesha Maulau srak iva Amaradhunim Tirtva, having crossed that is not our Parinama here. So that you can take it as Rupakam if you want. Tasmai Saumitri, Tasmai Navikaya Ataram Upakritavan. This is one sentence here. So Upakritavan, he gave him, Dattavan ityarthaha. Navikaya Ataram Dattavan. What is Ataram? Ataram is the shulkam that you give when you cross. So it is like a fees that you pay to the boatman for helping him cross the Ganga. So Navikaya Ataram Upakritavan Dattavan. Now what is this Ataram? It is not a mere money or anything that Rama gave or any other vastu that he gave. Here the Ataram was Saumitri Maitri Mayam. Saumitri Maitri Pradhanam Saumitri Maitri Eva Tatra Ataratvena Dattam. The money that he gave was in the form of friendship with Saumitri. that is Lakshmana. So anytime, again, Saumitri alone, it is because of the prasam that he uses, Anuprasa, to satisfy Anuprasa, he uses Saumitri. His own friendship was also there. But he ensured that Lakshmana was also had a friendly attitude towards Guha. So tasmai navikaya saumitri maitri mayam ataram upakritavan. This is what we need for Parinama. The rest of the shloka goes like this. Vyamagrahya stanibihi shabara yuvatibihi kautuka udanchat aksham kshanam achalam anviyamanaha krichrat anviyamanaha chitrakutam pratasthe. He was also followed for a moment by these women who were looking Shabara Yuvati Bihi, by the women of the Shabara Jati, hunter women, who had Vyamagrahya Stani Bihi, whose breasts were Grahyam, which could be held by Vyama. Vyama is actually Bahu Grastam. So Prithu Stani Bihi iti. So they by those Shabara Yuvati Bihi, Kshanam Anviyamanaha, Krichrat Anviyamanaha, he was followed by those ladies with great difficulty, because they were large bodied, and so it was difficult for them to walk for longer distance, and he was followed by those ladies with their eyes. Kautuka Udanchat Aksham Api Achalam Kautuka Udanchat Aksham. Their eyesight, which was achalam, which was not at all moving, that is, on the solronla tol kandar, tole kandar. And the Madri, they were only looking at Rama and without moving their eyes at all. So Achalam Aksham, which was Kautuka Udanchat, which had so much of curiosity, they wanted to see who was this handsome man who was walking through the forest. And so these women were also looking at him with eyes that were not moving at all. So Achalam Kautuka Udanchat Aksham Krichrat Anviyamanaha Ramaha Chitrakutam Prataste, he started towards Chitrakuta. Okay. Now the Parinama here is Saumitri Maitri Mayam Ataram Navikaya Upakritavan. Saumitri Maitriyam Ataratvam Aropyate. There was no money that he gave to Guha, because Guha also would not accept anything. He only wanted friendship. So he took the friendship. It is the Ataram or money was not something that Guha would, something that would be useful for Guha. Upakaraha. So Guha Upakritavan or Dattavan. He helped Guha in this manner by giving him Ataram, by giving him fees. But the fees is not going to help him, or the price that you pay for a boatman, for a boat ride, that in the form of money or anything is not going to be useful for Guha. Instead, because he's a king, king of the Shabaras. So this is nothing for him. Instead, this Maitri, when that Ataram became transformed into friendship, now it was useful for Guha. So Sacha Aropyamanaha Ataraha Aropa Vishaya Saumitri Maitri Rupata Apatya. Because it attained the quality of Saumitri Maitri, it became transformed into the Rupam of Saumitri Maitri. Now it became useful for Guha. So Guha Upakara Lakshana Karya Upayogi Bhavati Na Swatmana. Because Guhasya Vetana Arthitva Abhavat. He does not want this price or fees. He does not want that money. It is of no use for him. He is not a Vetanarthi. Vetanam na Prichati Saha. So he only this now became a kind of a Vetanam for him. Is it clear?
Because in the night when Rama is sleeping, both Lakshmana and Guha can chat, have a friendly chat.
அதான் பண்ணாளா? ராமாயணத்துல இருக்கா? என்னமோ சொல்றேன். சரி.
I think
because he is not sleeping.
I think Lakshmana is the one who goes to who gets Guha's friendship and assistant Mari. He's the one who procures the boat and talks and makes the crossing possible. And so since he is the one who's doing the action, therefore the friendship is more with him,
between
and
them.
Rama is கொஞ்சம் அப்படியே உட்காருவார் அவர்தான் வாங்க உட்காருங்க அப்படின்னு. But all the talking is done by Lakshmana, and the friendship is done by Lakshmana. That's my take on it.
Possible, yes.
But this word ataram is very,
Yeah.
this ataram word is very interesting because it's the through dhatu, taranam, to cross. So ataram is the fee for crossing. It's
Fee for crossing, yeah.
it's apparent from the word. It's very very interesting word. And you know the Padacheda editor Saumitri Maitri Mayam Ataram Upakritavan அப்படின்னு படிச்சார்.
கரெக்ட் தானே? ஐயம்
சௌமித்ரி மைத்ரீம் அயம் இது அப்படின்னு பிரிக்கணும் இல்லையா?
ஆமாமா.
சௌமித்ரி மயம் அப்படின்னு பிரிச்சா இன்னொரு மாதிரி வரும். But still I think the alankara still holds. But
மயம்ங்கிறத வந்து எப்படி எடுத்துக்கணும்னா you take it as பிரதானம். மயட்டு பிரத்யயமா எடுத்துண்டு சௌமித்ரி மைத்ரி பிரதானம் பிரதான பூதம் ஆதரம் அப்படியும் எடுத்துக்கலாம்.
அப்படி எடுக்கலாம். But in the Parinama Saumitri Maitrim அப்படின்னு எடுத்தா it's very clear that you can't give that as an ataram, but you have to do a Parinama of it.
Yes.
Because if you take Mayat, okay, that change it kind of clouds the alankara.
Okay. Yeah. மயட்டுன்னு சொன்னா சில சமயம் அது ரூபம்ங்கிற அர்த்தத்துல வந்துருத்தனால it becomes different. Yeah. And
also this kautuko udanchat nama rising. So rising with opening up with curiosity.
Curiosity.
Opening up, rising up, udanchat.
மேலோங்கி, அதாவது கௌதுகம் மேலோங்கி இருக்கக்கூடிய பார்வையை கொண்டு.
மேலோங்கின்னா அதுக்கு மேல இருக்கிற மாதிரியா?
மேல ஓங்கி வர்றதுன்னு அர்த்தம். கௌதுகம் seems to rise up அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம்.
So
ஜனனி ஏதோ டவுட்டா?
Like eyes wide open with the kautuhala, right?
Yes, kautukam, eagerness. ஆமா.
kshanam pratasthya na kshanam anna not an instant, right?
kshanam pratasthya illa, kshanam anviyamanaha.
Kshanam anviyamanaha.
They could not, because kritsrat kshanameva anviyamanaha. That's what it connects with.
So they were following only for an instant?
For a moment. ஒரு க்ஷணம் அப்படி போனான்னா it doesn't mean literally for a moment. It's ஒரு way of saying தானே.
For way of saying. For
கிஞ்சித் தூரம் இத்தியர்த்தः. லக்ஷணையா அதை எடுத்துக்கணும். சொல்லு ஜனனி.
Yeah, I'm like, there is kriya is not mandatory, is it? Like, எனக்கு எப்பவுமே I'm finding it difficult to find parallels between the first example that he usually gives and
அதுல கிரியா வந்து வீக்ஷதேன்னு டைரக்டா இருக்கு. இதுல வந்து it is உபகிருத்தவான் இது கிரியா அஸ்தி இல்லையா? அதுதான் உபகார காரியம்.
அப்படி புரிஞ்சுக்கணுமா?
ஆமா, அதாவது அந்த குஹனுக்கு சௌமித்ரி மைத்ரிங்கிற ஒரு பணம் தான் உபகாரமா ஆச்சு. அந்த மாதிரி அது உபயோகப்பட்டது. ஆர் அவன் அதை ஆமா சரியா?
கேக்குறேன், இதுதான் ஈஸியஸ்ட் எக்ஸாம்பிள் that he can find in literature இல்ல?
அதெல்லாம் இல்ல. இது wait I wanted to pick out இல்ல I wanted to pick out Yadavabhidayam. See, இது வந்து he could have taken so many examples from Yadavabhidayam. Actually அதுல வந்து there are so many examples that he is identified as Parinama and he is given இல்லையா?
Point is real world literature, right? ஈஸியா கொடுத்தா அதுல என்ன ருச்சி இருக்கு? இந்த மாதிரி எப்படி லிட்ரேச்சர் எப்படி வருதோ கொடுத்தாதான் நல்லா.
அதுக்கு நோட்டு அனர்கராகமா எடுக்கணும். ஆமா, you don't need to take anargharagava and naishadiyam for everything, or Shishupala-vadam. எத்தனை examples he takes from Shishupala-vadam தெரியுமோ? அனிதம் பூர்வ நித்ராணாம் அனஸ்தமய பானுமான் ஆபாதயசி பும்சாம் துவம் அபுனஸ்வாப ஜாகரமா. இது வந்து இது வேண்டாம். இதை விட அந்த இன்னொன்னு இருக்கும். There was another one that I was கர்ணதாரவதி அதுதானோன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். There are a couple of examples there in Parinama. Parinama alankara from the Lakshmi Leela Kamala Shatpada Dwaninam.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'll just share that text.
The first sargalya varmo.
அதுதான் 21 ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சர்க்கத்துல தான்.
Okay.
தேஹீதி வததாம் பிராயः பிரசீதன் பிரத்யுவாச்ச சஹா லலித துவனிபிஹி லக்ஷ்மி லீலா கமல ஷட்பதைஹி. தேஹி இதி வததாம் ஜனானாம் பிராயः பிரசீதன், as he was pleasing the people, as Yadu was pleasing the people by giving them whatever they desired, lalita dvanibihi leela kamala shatpadaihi pratyuvacha, he replied with the shatpada, இல்லையா அந்த அது என்ன வண்டுகளுடைய பேச்சு. சோ அதிசயோக்தி சித்தே ஷட்பத துவனோ பிரதிவச்சனம் ஆரோப்பிய பிரகிருத உபயோகாத்து. அந்த ஷட்பத துவனி வந்து that cannot be an answer. ஷட்பத துவனோ தத்ர that cannot be an answer there, but it is it becomes a kriya upayogi when it has been superimposed upon இது அது என்ன தேஹி இதி அந்த வாக்கா அப்படிதான் சொல்லணுமா? ஆமா, அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய இருக்கு. கிரீடைவ தவ கேவலம் பாருங்க, பரிணாமம் இவங்க எக்கச்சக்கமா இருக்கு இதுல.
I mean, literally, like, sometimes when somebody asks a question and you say, the sound of the beats,
ஆமா. See this one also. தயா ஏவ அம்புதிஹி தனோதி வியூக விபவைஹி தரங்கைஹி இவ தாண்டவம். இது எல்லாமே பரிணாம தான். இங்க ஒன்னொன்னும் நீங்க வந்து படிச்சிருக்கேன். இதெல்லாம் குணரத்னம் தயாம்பு இதெல்லாம் வந்து there is an abeda aropa there. Why is he doing that? Tanoti vibhavam tanoti, so tandavam tanoti. Tandavam cannot be done by or ratnas cannot, being present inside the ambudhi is not a quality of gunam, but it is the quality of அந்த மாதிரி ஏதோ வரும். எனக்கு சட்டுன்னு அது அந்த கான்டெக்ஸ்ட் வரல. பிரகிருத உபயோகித்துவம் வருது இதுல. See, there are some 4-5 shlokas where you have this alankara.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. I'll go back.
அது பாத்துக்கோ. Yeah. Okay. So with this, Parinama is over. Now we move on to Ullekha alankara. There are two types of Ullekha alankara. One is bahubhihi bahudha ullekhat ekasya ullekha ishyate. The other one is, the next one he gives the second variety here. Ekena bahudha ullekhe api asau vishaya bhedatah. These are, so ekena bahudha ullekha, only one person is looking at one person in many different ways. Or here the first type is bahubihi, there are many people who look at one person, ekasya bahudha ullekha. Ullekha nale highlighting nartham. You highlight a certain quality in one person and அத வந்து பெருசா வசத்தி சொல்றது. So bahubihi, there are many people who look at one person, but each one comes from a different set of baggage. They look at him with a different perspective. So the example here is tribihi kamaha arthibihi swardruhu kalaha shatrubihi aikshi saha. So there is one king who is being seen by so many people in so many different ways. So stribihi, by women he is looked upon as sakshat kamaha saha iti. He is looked upon as kama. It is based on upama. They look at him as, or you can also take it as it is based on Rupakam, but they think of that king as kama manmatha, because he is so beautiful. Probably because of the beauty that they see in him, and from their perspective they only look at him as a handsome person, and so he is sakshat manmatha. Artibihi, a person who comes in want of wealth, he is not going to look at his physique and say, wow, handsome physique. No, tatha na pashyati. So he only looks at what wealth he is going to give. Standing in line, he will say whether the list of things are emptying quickly or not. So arthibihi, but it is not emptying, he is also giving so much. He is like kalpataru for the Yachaka. So Arthibihi Saha Swardruhu Aikshi. He is seen by the Arthi Yachakas as a Swardru Swargadrumaha Kalpaka Vriksham. Shatrubihi by the enemies Saha Raja Kalaha Aikshi. He is seen as Kala, as Andamandri Iva Ityadikam tu Nasti Atra. It is just a highlighting of certain qualities from one person's perspective. This is how he is. Okay. So Bahudha Ullekha Dvividhaha. There are two types of Ullekha. Nana Dharma Yoginaha Ekasya Anekaihi Anekadha Ullekhana Rupaha. Nana Dharma Yoginaha, a person, yogi, yunakti, one who possesses different kinds of dharmas. He has many qualities in him. Ekasya eva tasya nana dharmaha vartante. Only one person possesses a lot of dharmas. So nana dharma yoginaha ekasya anekaihi. There are many people who are looking at him. So anekaihi ullikhyate. Anekadha ullekana rupaha. In different ways. Everybody looks at him as just Paramatma iti chet. There is no ullekha there. Each one should look at Paramatma in a different manner. Bhagavatamla vara shlokam da vandu best example for Ullekha alankara. Mallanam Ashanihi nu oru shlokam irukku. We'll look at that later. We'll first finish this Vyakyanam and then go to that. Tatra adyasya lakshana udaharane shloke asmin pratipadyate. The lakshanam here is ekasya aneka dharma vishishtasya. For one object which has many dharmas in it, vishishtasya, it is qualified by many qualities. Bahubihi anekaihi grahitribihi, those who perceive him. Grahanam it can be in many ways. It can be jnana rupena grahanam athava chakshu rupena grahanam. However, right, so grahitribihi, one who looks at him, one who perceives that person. There are many people there. So anekaihi bahubihi anekaihi grahitribihi. Bahudha is equal to aneka prakarena, in different ways. Ullekhat. What does ullekha mean? Vishayi karanat. They take him as an object of perception using one particular dharma. That's all. So tatra jnane vishayi bhavati saha. That person becomes a vishaya in his mind, but through only one perspective from one person. Another person looks at him from another perspective. So iti ullekhaha iti anvarthanama alankaraha. The name of the alankara also fits here. Saha iti kaschana raja saundarya audarya parakrama shali. He has the qualities of beauty. Audaryam is charity, charitable nature, and parakramam, valor. So Raja stribhihi kamaha aikshi. Stribhihi madanaha iti grihitaha. He is understood as madana, manmatha. Arthibihi swardruhu kalpavrikshaha aikshi. Kalpavrikshaha eva iti tarkitaha. People analyze and people probably think and say, oh, he is in fact kalpaka vriksham. Shatrubihi kalaha antakaha yama, a destroyer. So antakattvena drishtaha iti udaharanam. Okay. Atra ekayeva raja saundaryadi aneka dharma vishishtaha. He has many qualities. Bahubihi. So it is just a lakshana samanvayam here. So ekaha bahu vishishtaha ekaha bahubihi bahudha ullikhitaha. So bahubihi stri arthi shatrubihi. Bahudha kama swardru antakattvena ullikhitaha. Iti lakshana samanvayah. Ullekhe api bahutra rupaka iva aropaha asti. So this is more like rupakam than upama. Kintu atra ekasmin vishaye grahitra bhedat vishaya bhedatva bahunam vishayinam aropaha. Rupaketu na tatha asti. See, in rupakam, here the grahitra bedat, each you need the people who are looking at him. So you need a mention of those who are all looking at him. And then grahitra bhedat, because of the difference in the people who are looking at him, because of the qualities that are there within the person who looks at him also, hence vishaya bhedat. So the way they take in as an object of their knowledge also is different. The ஒரே situation there may be 4 people who were involved in that situation. If you go and ask each one of them, each one will narrate the incident differently according to them. ஒரு இது வந்ததுல அந்த 7 நாட்கள்னு ஒரு பழைய படம், தமிழ் படம்.
Correct.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Each one will narrate the whole incident according to their view. அது அப்படியே beyond its time. அது people only இல்ல அதுல என்னன்னா it was a flop during its time because people thought Shivaji died 7 times. How is this movie going to be a hit?
I was thinking about that Gaja for
exactly.
one blind people touching the elephant and saying it looks like this.
Yes, correct. That story is there, no? Yes, the same way.
The Murder on the Orient Express, the Hercule Poirot, the Maridan.
Each one will narrate.
Each one will different multiple versions கொடுப்பார்.
அதுதான். So ரூபகேது ந ததா இதி பேதः.
இந்த பரிணாம அலங்காः क्रिया उपयोगित्वा तत्र तादृशं भवति. இங்க ग्रहीतृ भेदात् अवावाल whatever is useful for them they do that kind of aropa.
Yes, so இங்க அந்த கிரியாங்கிற aspect itself is not there at all. Perspective தான். Okay.
He is building up the alankaras and the descriptions, but the order in which he's presenting the alankaras itself is connected, right? Like he goes from Upama, then to Pratipam, which is the related to Upama, then he goes Rupakam, which is related to Upama, then like you said, the Kriya Upayogitvam, a variation. And here also, the Ullekha alankara is made up of multiple Rupakams individually.
Yes.
So the connection still remains, right? So that it's either all about the same person or entity, right? That's the so the connection remains. It's a development of the alankara in one continuous stream, right? Everything is connected to the previous one. There's a sangati at work.
Yes. And then अपरम உதாகரணம் எனக்கு இது பிடிக்காது. நல்லானா வசனிஹி அப்படின்னு ஒண்ணு உண்டு. நிருணாம் நரவரஹா ஸ்திரீணாம் ஸ்மரம். இந்த எக்ஸாம்பிளே எனக்கு பிடிக்காது. அதுக்கப்புறம் தானே I will just copy that example and put it on a whiteboard so that we'll look at that shloka. It's a very beautiful shloka. This is also fine. Gajatrata iti vriddhabhihi Shrikanta iti yavvataihi yathastitaha cha balabhihi drishtaha shaurihi sakautukam. Shaurihi, Krishna is looked upon sakautukam with eagerness, yathastita with an eagerness by vriddhabhihi, by the old people as Gajatrata. Adena and the Kuvalayapida Marakaha iti Gajatrata, one who protects everybody from the elephant. Iti vriddhabhihi Shrikantaha iti yavvataihi. Young people look at him as one who is kantaha, very attractive because of the beauty that he has. Or shriyaha kantaha lakshmyaha kantaha iti balabhihi yathastitaha. Young people, young boys, that is not youth but young boys, look at him as is. That's all. இதை விட அந்த
கஜத்ராதானா நான் கஜேந்திர மோக்ஷம் அப்படின்னு நினைச்சிருந்தேனே.
அதுவும் எடுத்துக்கலாம். கஜேந்திர மோக்ஷம். ஆமா கஜேந்திர மோக்ஷம்.
Vriddhas are like the old elephants, the heads of their families, and when they get in trouble, Vishnu is the one who protects them.
ஆமா and விருத்தா விஷ்ணுவா நினைக்கிறா. ஆமா கரெக்ட். இதுல இந்த பாகவதத்துல ஆர்கே சார்னு ஒருத்தர், he will always mention this shloka and he'll say, why don't people take this as an example for Ullekha alankara and say abdimbar. He was the first one to point this shloka to me. मल्लानाम् अशनिः नृणां नरवरः स्त्रीणां स्मरो मूर्तिमान् गोपानां स्वजनो असतां क्षितिभुजां शास्ता स्वपित्रो शिशुः मृत्युर्भोजपतेः विराट् अविदुषां तत्त्वं परं योगिनां वृष्णीनां परदेवता इति विदितः रङ्गं गतः साग्रजः. Sagrajaha, along with Balrama, along with his Agraja, Rangam Gataha, he went to this Rangam, that is, when he went to the stage, wrestling arena, he was Viditaha, he was seen as so many things by different people. Mallanam Ashanihi. Ashanihi here is like a lightning bolt madri, which is a Ashubha Suchakam. All of the wrestlers who were there looked at him as an Ashubha evil omen, like a lightning or something that will come and destroy them. Naravaraha Nrinam, all men looked at him as the best among men. Srinam Smaraha Murtiman, it was as if Manmatha himself had come here. That's how the women looked at him. Gopanam Swajanaha. Hey, enga payyanda abdingralla andha mari. Gopanam, for all the cowherds who were assembled there, one among us is there on stage. It's always nice, to see one of your people up on stage. Annala Gopanam Swajanaha iti. Asatam Kshitipujam Shasta. They looked at him like a and the Punisher Madri. All the bad kings, Asatam Kshitibujam, all the wicked kings looked upon him as one who had come there to control them. Swapitroho Shishuhu. Vasudeva and Devaki are also present there to view this. So they thought of him as a Shishu. Even though he was a Balaha, Kumaraha, still they thought of him as a Shishu. Mrityuhu Bhojapatehe. Kamsa thought of him as Mrityu, Sakshat, death, Yama. Virat Avidusham. This is very interesting. Those who are not Vidwan, those who are not yogi, they look at Shastras. Avidwan iti atra. He takes it as people who have studied Shastras but have only a Shastric knowledge, not an Anubhava Purvaka knowledge. So they think, okay, he is Virat Purusha who has come here. Yes. But yogis look at him as the Paratattvam, which is the Antaryami also. Tattvam Param Yoginam. Vrishninam Paradevata. Vrishni iti Yadava Kulasya Ayameva Paradevata, because he is going to release them from the grips of Kamsa and give them a new life. So the Vrishni Kulam or Yadava Kulam thought of Krishna as Paradevata.
Virat Avidusham iti punaha.
And the Virat Avidusham, Virat nale Virat Purushaha iti Sthula Jagat Deva khalu. Sthula Jagataha Adhyastha Purushaha solraje, it is only the Vishwarup who is of the form of everything in this world. That's all they see. They do not have the personal experience of looking at him as the Adharam for everything else. Avidusham garche, Avidwan is not, he has an intellectual knowledge, but he is not a Vetti iti Vidwan. Atma Jnanavan iti nasti.
Kevalam tatra sthulatvam pashyati na tu sukshmatvam iti.
अधिष्ठान ज्ञानं न भवति
नास्ति. योगिनामेव तत्र अधिष्ठान ज्ञानं वर्तते, तस्मात् तेषामेव तत्त्वं परम् इति ज्ञानम्. Okay, we'll stop with this.
विश्वरूपं नाम विश्वमेव विष्णुः इति पश्यति चेत् तत्रापि सोऽपि विद्वान् एव इति भाति.
அது வெறும் வந்து இன்டெலெக்சுவலா வந்து இட்ஸ் நாட் an அனுபவ பூர்வகம். அதுக்காக சொல்றேன், எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஷியல் இல்ல. எஸ், ஐ ஹேவ் ரெட் சோ மெனி, ஐ அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட், யா, ஓகே, திஸ் இஸ் ஃபைன், திஸ் இஸ் ஃபைன், எல்லாமே தெரியுது, நம்ம படிக்கிறோம்ல. பட் கேன் யூ சே தட் யூ ஹேவ் சீன் ஹிம் as the பரதத்துவம்? நோ, யூ ஹேவ் நாட் ரியலைஸ்ட் தட். அதனால we are still avidwan only. We may have read 1500 books, and probably in a way we understand, yes, everything has been created by him, sarvajnaha saha sarvavyapi ityadikam, yes. But we can't realize him in the hridayakasha as the paratattvam. Adha
Kshitibujam shasta ityatra kinchit. Anga vandu shastana, usually shastra is a teacher, right? or a commander or
शास्तिना ruler.
rule. Okay. Kshitibhujam api shasta iti va?
ஆமா
It's ruler of
அசதாம்
ruler.
க்ஷிதிபுஜம். ரூல் மாத்திரம் இல்ல, சாஸ்தினா பனிஷர்னு ஒரு அர்த்தமும் இருக்கு.
Punisher இருக்கு. ஆமா. Okay. The punisher of punisher of kings. Okay. Okay.
रङ्गं गतः साग्रजः इत्युक्ते
स अग्रजेन सह रङ्गं गतः. रङ्गं मल्लरङ्गं. He was going there for Chanura and Mushtika Mardanam, right? For that Rangam is the arena. Sagrajaha, Agrajena saha yada Krishnaha Rangam gataha tada evam sarvaihi viditaha asit.
So that was the first entrance of Krishna into the battle, kind of Arangetram basically.
ஆமா, அந்த கோலியா பீடத்தை இது பண்ணிட்டு he came in இல்லையா, அப்போ அந்த இடத்துல வருது இந்த description.
Very
Ma'am,
beautiful.
like this thing, like all have need not be positive like for this alankara such like Ullekha. For example, I don't have any poem or anything, but just thinking of one incident. If like parallel and Shonaka, if Dikshata comes, Lord Shiva comes, எல்லாரும்
பிச்சைக்காரன்னு ஒருத்தன் நினைக்கிறான். கரெக்ட்.
வந்து அவெல்லாம் இல்ல இதுவா வந்து விமன் எல்லாம் போனா அவெல்லாம் வந்து காம்படிட்டரா பார்த்து.
சரி, நான் அதை ஸ்லோகமா எழுதி உனக்கு அனுப்புறேன்.
சரி, ஓகே. ஏன்னா எனக்கு அதுதான் தோன்றது சுவாமி.
டெஃபினெட்லி. ஏன்னா பிக்ஷாட்டன ரூபியா வர்றச்சு some people think of him as சாதாரண யாச்சகः இத்யேவ. The ஞானி people or devotees look at him as a different form இல்லையா, அதுதானே.
ஆமா, நினைச்சுட்டு பின்னாடியே போயிட்டா அவ. அந்த அவ ஹஸ்பண்ட்ஸ் வந்து லைக் they didn't like him at all. And
கரெக்ட். அந்த தாருகாவனத்துல தானே.
ஆமா, தாருகா
வரச்சே. எஸ், தி ரிஷி பத்னி
நெகட்டிவ் கானோட்டேஷனும் வருது, அதான் கேக்குறேன். பட்
வரலாமே, தப்பில்லையே.
ஓகே
இட்ஸ் ஓகே. ஹவ் ஈச் ஒன் லுக்ஸ் அட் ஹிம் இஸ் டிஃபரெண்ட், நோ? அதுதான், அது பெர்ஸ்பெக்டிவ் வரலாம். இட்ஸ் ஓகே.
So this shloka, I'm not sure, maybe it's Anargaragam again, where Rama is leaving the city, different people look at him in different ways.
அப்படியா?
Okay, sorry. No, I'll find it more easy now. Rama leaves the city, different people can think of him in different ways, different perspectives.
Okay.
I'll find it.
ஆமா, அந்த கம்பராமாயணத்துல கூட தேவல்ஸ் போயம் உள்ள இருக்கிற அந்த இன்னும் பிறக்காத குழந்தை கூட அழுவும், பூனை எல்லாம் அழுவும். அத மாதிரி there is one poem when Rama is leaving Ayodhya. பட் ஆனா அது உல்லேக்கவாயிடும்.
இல்ல, இந்த மாதிரி வராது. இந்த மாதிரி ஒருத்தர் ஒன்னொன்னா பாக்குற இந்த திருவிளையாடல் புராணத்துல எல்லாம் அந்த மாதிரி வருது. ஒரு மேகத்தை பாக்குறச்சு, அதாவது இந்த மேகமா சில பேர் பாக்குறா, சில பேர் அது வந்து பரமேஸ்வரனுடைய விபூதி பட்டையா பாக்குறா, அப்படின்லாம் வருது. சோ அந்த மாதிரி இட்ஸ் தேர் இன் தமிழ் ஆல்சோ, இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு இது உல்லேகா.
Ma'am, do we have a different god called Shasta? Because I remember reading
Ayappa is Shasta.
Ayyappa is Shasta. That was right. That's what I was.
He is Shiva's son. He is supposed to be Shiva's son. And Kerala god is very famous in Kerala. Ayyappan.
I think
he also Harihara Sutan.
Mohini.
Mohini avataratla Shiva and Mohini son is
Ayyappa.
And Subramanya, is it different from Ayyappa?
Yes. Yeah. Different. Subramanya is Parvati and Parameshwara after the marriage. You know, the Kumara Sambhavam that we are reading, it is the Kumara Utpatti eva tatra. Sakumaraha tu anyaha. Shasta is different. He was born during the Mohini avataram of Vishnu. So there is this famous shloka, no? Ambeti matra. So Shasta idol is having a finger on his nose and he is sitting. So the king tries to remove that finger, but nobody is able to remove. So they call two of the experts. One of them says something which is not very appealing, so he doesn't remove. This is a story that says Appayya Dikshita or another person. Yeah, I think it is Appayya Dikshita who says this shloka, Ambeti matra. I call my mother as Vishnu as mother, and Tateti Shive. I call my father Ambeti Gaurim Aham Ahvayami, Patnyaha Pituhu Mataraha Eva Sarvaha. So I can call Gauri as Amba, correct? Because all of the wives of my father are mothers only, right? So patnyaha tu sarve eva mataraha eva katham nu Lakshmi ma iti chintayami shastaramede sakalartha siddhi. How do I call Lakshmi? She is mother's, it's a very chadu shlokam that he writes.
Oh.
So it's actually Mohini Avataram is the mother for Shastra. Okay.